Hi, really good to be back with a Thursday thought. And this week I mixed it up a little bit, and so I've got something a bit different for you. And today I want to talk to you about how do you bounce back when you screw up. Notice I said when, not if, because you will. We all do, you, me. But I want you to get clear on something. If your goals are massive goals, if you set yourself really ambitious goals way out here, and on your way to reaching those goals, you screw up, you're still going to have achieved something big. You're still going to have learned something. And I want to talk to you about bouncing back when those failures happen, when those things go wrong. Because our emotional resilience and our self-management, our self-awareness is going to help us bounce back when things don't go our way. For example, what do you do when the computer dies in the middle of a Zoom call? What do you do when you drop your favorite coffee cup and it smashes all across the floor? What do you do when you press send on a message and realize that you've sent the wrong message to the wrong person, and the person that you've sent it to gets really upset by what you've sent them? I remember once chatting on, this is back in the days of BlackBerry Messenger, running home late from an after work meeting with some colleagues, having dinner, and I'm running home and I'm sending a message to my wife saying, sorry, I'll be back in time for dinner. And because we had guests coming around, and I thought, I'm a bit late. So I'm running along and I'm like, darling, don't worry, I'll be home in time for dinner. And I wasn't chatting to my wife on my BlackBerry, I was chatting to my boss. And he wrote back and said, darling, I'm really happy that you're coming home for dinner. However, I think you might have got the wrong person. So there are scales of screwing up, okay? I have screwed up massively sometimes in my life and in my career, and there have been times when the floor and staying on the floor seems like the only option. But bouncing back and taking back your power is vital if you're going to be a successful leader and successful entrepreneur and leading in your business. So how you bounce back, it's down to how you frame in your mind what's happened and learning to use your strengths and the tools that you've got at your disposal to make things better for yourself. So not only did I come up with some ideas of my own, I also reached out to some really great people in my network. So if you read the article, you'll see that Laura Hoyer Salazar, a management consultant from New York, has shared her ideas. Roy Lieberman, the VP of Global Client Success at Performanta, has given his ideas. And also David Grasso, the CEO of Bold TV Media Network, has given his ideas on what we do when we bounce back from screwing up. So here are some tips. The first one is you've got to be honest. Don't try and sugarcoat it. Don't try and deflect blame. Okay, don't try and make it anything other than what it is. Be 100% honest about what has gone wrong and why. Okay, don't start pointing the blame finger. Don't start playing the blame game. Okay, be honest about it. The next thing is pause to reflect. Now, when we screw up massively, when we make these big mistakes, panic can set in, anxiety can set in. We can start to make ourselves wrong, we can start to blame ourselves, we can start to be overly critical, we can feel afraid. If we screw up at work, we can be afraid of being fired. If we screw up in a relationship, we can be afraid of the damage that's going to cause to the relationship. So we can sometimes act and react from fear. So pause to reflect on what is actually happening, okay? And just take the time to step back and to breathe so that you're not reacting to the negative emotions that are swishing around inside your body. The next thing is, if there's something to put right, put it right. If that is fixing a relationship by sitting down and having a conversation, by apologizing, if that is going to your boss, if that is talking to co-workers, if that is picking up the phone to a client, whatever it is, if there's something that needs to be put right, put it right. The next thing is to refrain, okay? It's to let it go, because whatever happened, happened. Yeah? take the example of my favorite coffee cup. My daughter drops my favorite coffee cup on the floor. Smash. That coffee cup, unless I'm like super glue expert, that coffee cup is never coming back. Okay. So blaming her and shouting at her and all of that kind of thing, that's not going to fix the coffee cup. So the coffee cup is broken. Reframe that experience. Okay. Because there's what happened and then there's what you make it mean. And that meaning could be what you make it mean about yourself, what you can make it mean about other people, what you can make it mean about your business, what you can make it mean about the world, the economy, your luck. Oh, I'm so unlucky. You know, our minds go off in these negative tangents. So reframe it, get really clear what happened, and then what am I making it mean? And then finally, move forwards. Because looking back and constantly dwelling on the screw up, on what went wrong, is going to stop you from implementing the learning that you've got here from the reflection. It's going to stop you from implementing that learning and keep moving towards your goals. The only real failure to come out of making a mistake, to come out of screwing up, the only real failure is not learning from it and not keeping moving forwards. Because if you screw up and you stop, that's failure. If you screw up and you're honest and you reflect and you put things right and you reframe and you move forwards, that's called learning. So I hope this has been interesting for you. I'd love to have your comments. Drop me a comment down below. Thanks ever so much. See you next Thursday for another Thursday Thoughts.